So the media has been talking about meat shortages in the future, possible shortages over the summer. Well, today I'm going to show you 25 items that you can buy at your local grocery store, not break the bank, and stock up on some meat. Alright everybody, welcome back. So today I'm going to show you some common everyday items right in your local grocery store that you can pick up and stock up on your meat storage. I understand that a lot of folks may be starting out on prepping, with the recent situation with the virus and all. Maybe you got your heads up, and you start, hey, I better start stocking up on food. Now you're hearing about meat shortages in the news, and that can be pretty scary. So, what I tried to do today was put together a list that the average person could just walk out this afternoon and buy in their store. Well, except that. We'll get into that later. You could just walk out, buy in a store, and bring home with you and begin storing some meats for the future should there be a shortage. Also, too, this isn't something you have to spend a fortune on. This isn't freeze-dried food. And hey, I sell freeze-dried food for 2 companies, and I'm the first one to tell you, if you don't have any food stored or any kind of meat put away, with the shortages they're talking about, go out to the store and buy this stuff first before you even think about buying anything from me. I would rather you guys get stocked up, Some of the stuff is backed out a long way, it's going to be a couple weeks before it shows up. Some of the stuff can be a lot more expensive than you might be able to afford. I'd rather you go out and spend 40 or 50 bucks at your local grocery store than go out and go crazy. So this is just 25 different items that I've come up with. Some of these I purchased, some of these were already in my storeroom to show you. Some of them, I should have just taken everything out of my storeroom, but some of them I felt like showing you. We'll end up eating them anyway. So we're going to start off over here on this side, and I'll show you what's over here. Give me a sec to get ready and we'll be right back. Alright, so we'll start over on this side. First off, you can get white turkey in cans, just like chicken and tuna and everything else. This stuff is really, really good. If you've ever had it, this Picket Fence brand, I've had this stuff before. We've used it in salads, everything. It's really good. Next up is a big one, okay? Keystone. If you can find Keystone canned meats, I have chicken and beef here. I have a lot of this put away. I know Walmart was selling it for a while, probably not now, but you can look around and find it. If you look online, they'll give you a local place. If you look on Keystone's website, they'll give you a local place that sells it. This stuff is amazing. The beef, to be honest with you, when you open up that can of beef, it's going to be a little off-putting because there's a lot of white fat in there and stuff. Just cook it and trust me on it. It is amazingly good chicken and beef. They really have good meats. It's not too expensive. I think these were like $7 each. And what are they? Let's see. See the ingredients? Chicken and sea salt. That's it. No junk, no weird stuff in them. 28 ounces. So that's a pound of, there's some liquid in there, but a pound of meat, pretty much. Pretty good stuff. Next up is one that you might not remember. DAC canned hams. I love these things. They don't taste like Spam. They actually taste like ham. They're really good. Well, that makes a meal for, 2 to 3 people right there, depending on how much you're eating. You can make a little rice with that, little beans, something on the side. You got yourself a meal. Very affordable, too. Next up, of course, good old Spam. Most people figured this out during the last canned food panic a few months ago. And the Spam was literally cleaned off the shelves within a day. I went there one day and the whole top shelf at my Walmart had Spam everywhere. And I'm like, wow, it's so bad, but they're still not resorting to eating Spam. I went back the next day, it was all gone. So, definitely get yourself some Spam, it's really good. If you hate it, you don't have to get it. I know some people can't stand it, but I find that if you cook it really well, it's really good. Next up, I got this at Walmart yesterday just for giggles. Fully cooked canned corned beef. It's actually really good. It's kind of a Spam consistency, but it does taste like corned beef. And a while ago, I was talking about the old days where they had the key right there, where you just twist it open. Spam used to be like that. It had a key on the bottom or top, I forget, where you took it off and you opened it up around the outside. Anyway, yeah, this is pretty good stuff. Next up, bacon. This you won't find in stores, and this is getting expensive. These are like $29 a can, $25 a can if you find them cheap. They're pretty expensive, but if you find it and you like bacon, you can get a couple cans of it. It's good for 25 years. You can stick it somewhere, good to go. Generally, this is something you might have to order. So if that's the case, don't worry about it. I just brought it out because it's yet another canned meat. Tuna, of course. Some people like it in oil because it lasts longer. Some people like it in water. I just grabbed what was ever on the shelf there to buy to show you. We're going to eat this in the house, so it doesn't really matter. Corned beef hash. Another good hearty meal. You can scramble up some eggs, toss them in there, have that, and there's your breakfast. And that's good for 2 breakfasts, 14 ounces. You can cut that in half if you're trying to be careful on how much you use up, and you're good to go. Now remember, none of this stuff is health food, okay? Maybe the Keystone meats and the tuna, a little better for you, but none of it's health food. And I'm not telling people to go out and eat a diet like this all the time. I'm telling you this is what you should be stocking up when the media starts talking about meat shortages and meat plants closing. Definitely time to start doing it once they start talking about it. I find that when the media says something, it's kind of your heads up as a prepper to go take care of that before it happens. Next up, Alaskan pink salmon. Some people will say, that's not meat, that's fish. Same thing. Anyway, this stuff's really good. This is the Great Value brand. I do have some other brands as well. This is best by 2024. So if they're being that generous with the date, it's probably best a lot longer than that, as long as the can integrity is good. Another one, Wolf brand chili. If you've never had this, oh man. I was not a big chili eater till one day at one of the field days for our radio group in California when I lived there. They had a big chili thing, a big bowl of chili with meat and beans, and I was starving. And not really totally into prepping just yet, kind of just making my first steps in it, and I didn't have any food with me. I figured, no, they're going to serve us food. And they made chili, and I'm like, oh damn, what am I going to do? I went and had it, and oh my goodness, it was so good. And this was what they used. They actually used cans of Wolf chili. They just dumped it into a big pot. So, inexpensive, easy to store. Got your meat in there, got your protein, got your calories. Whoops, knocking things over here already. Let's put that back up there. Next up, don't write off soups. Soups are very, very good for the meat that is in them. They're also really tasty. You got beef barley soup here. Really good stuff if you've ever had this. Campbell's Kitchen Classics tend to be a little bit better. You don't even need to add water to this. You just dump it, heat it up, good to go. Definitely something cool. Now this is all depending on if you like this stuff. And again, like I told you, this isn't health food. This is for you to survive. Beef ravioli. Out of all the Chef Boyardee stuff, this is probably the only stuff I'll eat. The SpaghettiOs and the meatballs, and nah. This is really good though. If you can find this stuff, roast beef. Roast beef with gravy, the Hereford brand. Again, this was sold in Walmart. This is good till 2023, according to their list, which means it's probably good for a whole lot longer. It is made in Brazil, and it is really tasty. You can toss this in with some rice or something else, maybe some potatoes, whatever. Have yourself a really hearty meal. Not bad at all. And of course, the old standby, Hormel chicken breast in a can. Stuff is really easy to pick up. It's almost in every supermarket around the world. Canned chicken is an excellent source of protein and a great way to stock up on meats. Next up, we're going into the soups again. Got some chicken noodle soup here and some chicken noodle from Progresso. The light is like a diet soup, but it's still really good. The chicken noodle soup from Great Value, believe it or not, is actually really good. I actually like it better than the Campbell stuff. Tasty stuff, so can't beat that. Now here's some stuff that you may not like. Or you may, I don't know. It's up to you guys. Again, buy what you think you're going to eat. Don't buy stuff and think, if I'm hungry, I'll eat that, because you won't rotate it, and that's what's important. Deviled ham spread. It's a meat, and it's canned. Corned beef spread. Underwood stuff is actually pretty good. I remember as a little kid I had this. My mom would make me sandwiches with this, and it was really good. It wasn't nasty at all. Lastly, boy, did I take a lot of heat when I mentioned I cooked these as a kid. Vienna sausages. My mom used to make them as breakfast. So what she'd do is she'd put these in a pan and make them like little sausages. Roll them around, fry them up, serve them with eggs and hash browns or whatever. It wasn't something we always did. Normally we had sausage, but if we didn't, we had some of these. And people were like, ew, you cook those things? Ew, I used to eat them right out of the can. I'm like, you can eat them wherever you want. And these are super cheap too. Although, do keep an eye on these. Now with the pull tops, they will go bad a little bit quicker. I had a whole pack of 9 of them go bad on me a couple of years ago. So I've been pretty faithful in rotating those and rotating them out a lot more quick. The last one. Now this is kind of a last resort because they won't have the shelf life. But these guys here, these Starkist Chicken Creations, these things are awesome. You've seen me use these in my homemade MRE, my home packed MREs. you know, where I stuff everything in a thing and Ziploc it up. These are really, really good. They're a quick little meal. If you're in a pinch, all right, and your store has canned food, but maybe it's too expensive, or you just don't want that much stuff, you can buy a couple of these. Heck, you can buy all this stuff together. The buffalo style, really good. And, you know, not too spicy. It won't kill you. And lastly, 7-ounce bags of Tyson chicken. So there are some ideas if you don't currently have any kind of meat stored, or if all you have is like starches and stuff stored and beans and rice. This is a way to supplement that so that you actually have some serious protein in your diet. Also, too, if you have the means, fill up your freezers now and do it responsibly. Don't go to the store and clean out Walmart's meat aisle. You know, that's what people did last time, and you saw how that ended up. Do it responsibly. Every time you shop, pick up 2 things of hamburger. Every time you shop, pick up an extra roll of pork. We buy those pork rolls. They're so good. You know, pick up that extra bag of chicken. You don't have to hoard. Right now, everything's back in stock. Now is the time to stock up. So when people are hoarding, you can sit home, count your preps, and relax. Anyway, 25 ideas right there. Real quick, canned kind of meats that you can store. Really simple to do. Doesn't cost a lot of money. I got less than $50 on this table, I'm sure. And it'll keep you in meat when things start to turn ugly. So that's a good way to be prepared. Also, too, let's say nothing happens with the meat. There's meat as much as you want this whole summer long, okay? Guess what? You're already more prepared than you were. You know, you went out, you spent $40, $50, and you got yourself more food. And this is what I like to see as food insurance. You know, we have car insurance for our homes, car insurance for our cars, house insurance for our homes. Having some kind of food is food insurance. It's not just for disasters. You could lose your job, whatever, and then you'd be stuck. So that's the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out our Amazon store down below. I try to put everything I review, minus the food here, in that store so you can check it out. And don't forget to check our Thrive Life as well underneath. If you do have the means and the time to wait and you already have food storage, by all means, check out Thrive Life. A lot of the stuff is coming back into stock now. They have lots and lots of freeze-dried stuff, 30-year, 25-year shelf life on most of it. Really good food, too. It's very, you know, it doesn't have a lot of junk in it, no fillers, so most of it's even GMO-free. So, gotta love it. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Stay safe, stock up, and be prepared.